Nations team call. I am very excited to be able to lead you guys tonight, and I've put together some tips for you that I hope will really help you in your business, and I'll tell you a little bit more about myself as soon as we start the recording. So we're going to go ahead and start the recording now, and then we'll get going. Okay, so it looks like we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Tuesday, October 18th United Nations team call. I am Natalie Johnson, and I am thrilled to be on here. I am the founder of Warrior Nation and started Fit Fighter Nation with both Aaron and Erica. Erica is my upline. If I haven't met some of you before, the three of us started our journey as teachers. And so both Aaron and Erica have retired from teaching, and I plan on retiring from teaching and pursuing Beachbody and all sorts of things outside. I don't know. I mean, the list goes on and on. We don't have time for that on this call, but okay, so I want to write a book, change the world. You know how that goes. That's kind of what this business does. I feel like it just inspires us to be so much bigger than we ever thought we could be. So I am so thrilled to be on here, and I'm going to share a couple announcements with you first. And then the beautiful Megan Harrell is going to be doing the second part of this call and sharing some of her cold market strategies. And she is another former teacher who retired from teaching last year. So it's kind of a theme, it seems to be. So the first thing I wanted to share with you, next week, Tuesday through Thursday, so October 25th through the 27th, is going to be a huge coach sneak peek. And this is going to be a new way that we're going to invite people in to see what Beachbody coaching is all about. For those of you who've been on a webinar or who've been on maybe a live event that we used to do for sneak peeks, for this specific occasion, we're going to do kind of like a free group, like where people run maybe like a 5-day clean eating challenge. We are going to do 3 days open and have probably around 12 different coaches, myself included, sharing their journey and why they got into Beachbody. I'm actually going to be doing kind of just a mini version of what I'm going to share with you all tonight about why I became a coach and how my journey basically got started and how I manage it as a busy mom. So that is October 25th through 27th. We also have Super Saturday. So those of you who are local in Indianapolis or in the surrounding area, Joel and Jericho are coming to town. They're actually going all over the United States. They're doing the biggest tour of Super Saturdays in the history of Beachbody. I believe they're hitting 8 different cities in like 48 hours. And so they will be in downtown Indianapolis. If you have a location near you, I mean, there's people that are driving 3 to 5 hours, to go see them. I am blessed. I'm actually in the Quarter Force test group right now, which is absolutely incredible. Both Erica Buzzard and I were chosen out of 80 coaches. And so I've had an incredible journey being in the test group. Today is day 57 of 90. And my transformation has been just mind, body, soul. It's been absolutely amazing. And I'll get to a little bit more of that in a moment about myself. And then, so that is Saturday, October 29th. I know some people are doing Super Sundays on October 30th. And lastly, this is pretty cool. So Aaron wanted me to remind everybody, for the first time, Beachbody is doing a team spirit competition. And some of you might already be on this team for Fit Fighter Nation. I believe Erica is going to be running one for Soul Fit Nation. And I am going to be running one with my team, Warrior Nation. But it's a minimum of 20 people, maximum of how many you want to join. So, I mean, anybody can be on this. And it's really cool because they're basically going to do teams of 20 or more where you combine Success Club points. You even can earn double points if you're in a challenge, like using the app, the challenge app, my challenge app. They're going to give some prizes for logging 4 workouts a week and basically just make it a huge kind of like cup challenge, but getting people together. It doesn't matter if you're a new coach or a veteran coach, but they're going to get everybody pumped up for this. Registration ends October 31st. And it's the whole month of November, which I think is really cool. It's a month of giving back and gratitude and thankfulness. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. It's usually just teams of 5. So they've opened it up to 20 plus to get all teams involved and really get people going. So a little bit more to kick off this call, I want to share a little bit about my story. So again, if some of you are just joining, my name is Natalie Johnson, and I have been a coach for 3.5 years with Beachbody. And I just recently moved up to 2-star Diamond, which has been such an incredible blessing because I just never realized when I got into this business. Well, first off, I didn't get into it for business. I got into it because I couldn't fit into any of my clothes. I was in my closet. I still was in like my maternity clothes after my second daughter. And I'm like, this girl has got to lose some junk in the trunk. It is time to make it happen. I see Megan just joined. I love seeing her beautiful face. And so I decided I actually started with combat, which is why I love Core 4 so much, which I'll share more. I decided when I got started that I would do this for 30 days. And I'm like, I'll see if this is what it is. I was not a believer in Shakeology. And Erica, who was one of my closest friends, and we taught together high school history, she brought me a Shakeology one day, a sample to try, and I loved it. And I couldn't believe how full I felt, especially considering I was eating like Special K bars every day. They were 90 calories. It sounded like it would be totally sufficient for nutrition, except then I was in the mailroom eating donuts like 10 minutes later. So it wasn't working out really well for me. So I fell in love with the challenge groups. I'm sure most of you have been in a challenge group. And when we started, we didn't co-coach, like it was each man for themselves. I think I sent out, when I first started coaching, I sent out 1 month when I finally decided I would start my own group. I sent out 300 invites. I had them on an Excel sheet, and I didn't get one challenger. I want you to understand that if you feel like you are trying to get your feet wet, I get it. I convinced my mom to join, and she was like, I'm not drinking that shake crap. I did like Nutrisystem or something in the whatever days. She's like, I'm done. And I'm like, okay, Carla. Now she's one of my top coaches, well, like VIP coaches, and she's done like every single program for Beachbody, and her transformation has been awesome. But the challenge groups are where it started for me. And so I remember I was lucky to get 3 people in my first group. And now that we have teams, like you can team up with people and co-coach and have somebody jump in with just a fitness program and not feel like you're alone out there. There's always somebody to get help from. So basically, after that, I really was worried about the cost of Shakeology. So Erica had talked to me about, you know, if you got 3 people to sign up and love Shakeology as much as you, yours would at least be covered. And I remember strategizing for like, how am I going to get 3 people? Because I didn't know anything about marketing. I thought you had to be like in business. But this is a business of sharing, and it's a business of being a storyteller. And when you do that, you'll find that people are very attracted to you, your journey, your story. There's always enough people out there to come to you as well. So after I started realizing I could make extra money just by helping people, it turned into kind of a part-time business. And I went all in at Summit 2015. So it's been 1.5 years. And since then, I have made it my goal to retire from teaching this year. And I'm staying with it. And that's why I wanted to share a little bit more. And I'm going to give five thoughts or takeaways for how I believe that you can balance this business no matter what you have going on in your life. What's interesting, a lot of it is intrinsic. A lot of it is what you feel inside to make it worth it. to get up early, to make it worth it, to see all of you on this call. That takes passion, and it takes discipline. And that is what I feel like I needed to find to make this mean something to me. So I will lastly say this business saved me. I'm a single mom. I got divorced about a year ago, and it was not a very healthy marriage, to say the least, but I also am pretty much the primary caretaker of my two daughters. And so as a single mom and being a teacher, and I know Megan can probably understand this, and anyone else who's been in the teaching profession, there's not enough money in that profession for me as a single mom to be able to provide everything that they would need. And that to me was striking. And so I never knew when I got into Beachbody that this would be what saved me, because I have matched my teaching salary and beyond, but that's still not enough for me to feel like okay to leave a full-time job with benefits when it's just me. So that's why this has meant so much more to me. And that's why I'm even on this call today, because I feel compelled to like share my story, and maybe it will help you, or maybe something will help you find your why in this business. Okay, so we'll start with my 5 takeaways for balancing Beachbody as a busy person. And let me please start off and tell you that I feel like we're all busy. Like, I almost think that I would use busy as an excuse for why I couldn't do anything more in this business. And so I would say that the first thing in order to figure out this business for you is to decide if you're in or you're out. And the reason that I say that is that I kind of dabbled in it as a hobby. And if you're just doing it as a hobby, or you're just maybe inviting people on a whim here and there, then you're only going to get people here and there. And so for me, I had to find my why. And I'll share with you, my why is, they always say your why that makes you cry. My why is not profound. I always thought I was supposed to have some like big dream board or some big vision in order to see what I should do in this business. My why is my littlest one, who you just saw prior to the recording, Mara. She's a kindergartner, and it came clear to me this year that I want to be more present in my children's lives. I teach 200 high schoolers a day, and I realized recently that I'm giving more of my time and energy to other people's children than I am to my own. And I don't want to miss out on that time. I have a 6th grader and a kindergartner. And the thing that struck me, and I will, hopefully I'm not going to cry, because I've have told this story a couple times now. So maybe I've put my guard up. I don't know. At the beginning of the school year, we got back and Mara started kindergarten for the first time. And high schoolers start school 2 hours earlier than elementary. Why? Don't even get me started. Okay, so they do, okay? And I have to drop Mara off 2 hours early every single day at the YMCA Care Before School, because I'm going in to teach 200 other students who I love. I love my students, but I want to be a more present mom. And there have been a couple times, I don't know any of you who have little ones, she'd fall asleep in her room after school, having her snack or playing, and I could hardly get her up to eat dinner because she's so tired. I know kindergartners are tired, but I want to be present. I want to get up with my children and not be frantic and rush them out the door and try to pull Mara out of bed. That's my why. I have a dream board in front of me now that shows how many days left I have to teach this year. We also have, my daughters want a dog, which I feel like I need to be around more to get them a puppy. They've named him Juno after Juneau, Alaska, because that's where my family lives, is in Alaska. So Juno is the puppy. And then my oldest wants to go to college in Fairbanks, Alaska, where my brother went to college. So she is, that's our dream board. That's it. It's not be a millionaire. It's not about money. It's not about being a certain rank in this business. It's about what gets me up every single day to be a coach. That's my why. So you have to figure out, and I remember for a long time, I didn't know what my why was. Why would I get up earlier? What's the point? I was already a teacher. I'm fine, it needed to be something to make me get up every day. And it's now also my team that I'm helping, develop my team Warrior Nation. So that's number one. Number two is prioritizing. And I know we hear that a lot, but I wanted to give you guys, first off, like I said with number one, I've heard the biggest excuse that I've heard for why people don't want to coach anymore, why they don't want to join Beachbody, or why they quit Beachbody is that they don't have time. But we all have the same amount of time in the day. It's just a matter of what we choose to spend our time on. I truly believe that. But I started changing. I can't do this because I'm doing Beachbody because of my family. I want to give more to my girls. I want to be able to take them, shopping, and we're going to Disney World tomorrow. So that's why I'm going to be getting off the call here in a little bit and letting Megan finish up because I have to finish packing. But you also have to communicate with people in your life. So if you're married, if you're in a relationship, if you have kids, if you have people in your life that are regularly in your life, I feel like you need to communicate with them and make sure like you're on the same page with this business. Because I know a lot of people, spouses didn't or don't understand maybe what you're doing on your phone. They kind of think you're like playing on your phone, but you're running a business. So I will tell you that for me, I pick a couple things that I think would move my business forward the most, and I do the hard things first. One of my personal mentors is author and motivational speaker Coit Cooper. He's one of my dear friends, and I started doing a personal development group with him a year ago, and he taught me how to use, so I've got my passion planner here if you have a planner. He said, whatever is the most important thing for Beachbody for you, do it the first thing when you wake up. So I sat there and I'm like, okay, we have lists, like where do we work from? For me, I needed to continue bringing people to my challenge group. So I invite 3 people a day. And to be able to retire from teaching for me or to build a team, I have to invite people into coaching. So I send 1 coach invite a day. That is, I do the hard things first. So I don't go to bed at night thinking like I could have done 15 other things. Maybe for some of you, it's that you need to be on social media more regularly. Maybe you're still a little bit weird about being on there. I don't know where you are in your journey, but whatever it is that you feel like would move you forward the most in this business, do that first. That's my number 2 for you guys. I would also say, okay, I just actually published a blog before I got on this call about the power of saying no. Okay, I don't know how many of you guys run yourselves ragged because you feel like you constantly need to say yes to everyone around you. I don't know if it's also heightened for me as a teacher or a mom, but I will sometimes realize that I am volunteering for stuff that I didn't even think about how it would fit into my life. So I had to learn. So number 3 for me, I had to learn the power of no. And I'm going to say this with the utmost respect because Erin and Erica and I have chatted quite a bit about this. I've had to be very careful how much I volunteer to do in the evenings because I feel like it's then taking time away from my girls after working and teaching all day. So here's the thing. In this business, you can burn out really fast. So pick the things that you feel like best serve you in Beachbody. I truly, truly believe this. Like there will be trainings that Erin and Erica or myself with our teams, or maybe you guys with Megan and her team, Dream Team, that she's sharing all the time. But there's no possible way that you can do maybe every single training, every single live event. So figure out a couple things that you feel really good about doing and make those your priority and try to get rid of some of the noise. I had to eliminate a lot of the noise in my life. I had to find people around me who understood my dreams and my goals. I don't know how many of you might feel like you're in a working environment where there's a lot of negativity. It seems strange that the teaching profession of children would have a lot of negativity, but there's a lot of people in that business that are like burned out that of teaching, and they're not the most uplifting sometimes to be around. They're like counting down the days until summer instead of wanting to be present in each day. So I really try to limit like who I'm around if I don't feel like they're going to have something good to say. So the power of no and boundaries. Oh my gosh, you guys, I had no boundary. I mean, I thought I had boundaries, but I literally in my life, I had no boundaries at all. With just what was best for me. You're the coach of your challenge group. It doesn't matter what other coaches around you are doing. It doesn't matter what your upline is doing, what your downline is doing, if you're not like taking care of you first. And that will lead us into one of my other points coming up. So number 4 is discipline. Okay, so another thing, and discipline, I don't like that word because discipline itself sounds like it has a negative connotation, like it means it's a consequence, or it almost reminds me of like me telling myself I can't eat donuts. You know what I mean? I love myself some donuts. It is not on the quarter force meal plan, people. I'm not going to lie. There's not treats. There's not treats. It's not Autumn's cute little, oh, it's a yellow container with red wine. I haven't had wine or processed sugar in 57 days, but I'm doing it because I'm doing this goal for myself. Okay. I'm going to have a donut coming up sometime on day 91. Okay. But for now, I'm in it to win it. I'm proving to myself that I can do this. So with discipline to me is repeated behaviors. Okay. So like when you're thinking about things that are going to move your business forward the most, invites. I know that's one of your vital behaviors, but maybe it's that you just need to set a repeated behavior of, I'm going to invite 2 people to a challenge group a day. I'm going to create a customized invite that I can personally invite people. Maybe I'm going to make that one of my repeated behaviors. But let me give you a very good tip that worked for me. Don't create a system of behaviors. Pick 1 or 2 and then layer them. So like once you master like your social media, you're like, okay, I'm good. Like I'm posting twice a day. So then maybe you up it to 3 times a day. Maybe it's you layer your business with, maybe it's layering it with trying to reach out and invite some business coaches. Like if you feel like you're struggling building your team, you might need to take a look at your Facebook posts and your invites. Like, are you personally inviting anyone to join your team? Here's the big game changer for me, you guys. I have a lot of cheerleaders on Facebook. Maybe some of you feel like you have your go-tos, the people who are cheering you on, right? But how many of your Facebook friends, how many people see you as like a team leader? How many of them see you building like your actual team? I just tweaked some of my posts a little bit more. I would share more team pictures. I started doing shout outs to like some of my coaches on my team to give them some love. That wasn't hard, but it was a new behavior that I would start doing on a regular to show people and to show my team like the love that I had for them. So I guess when I talk about discipline, whatever it is that you're going to do, you can't do it for 2 weeks and then bail out for a month and expect people to know that you're a coach or that you're serious about this business. So again, it's finding that balance, but the balance is up to you. Your balance is completely up to whatever you feel like you can manage and then just repeat it. So for me, I put it in my planner. And now it's become second nature for me. And last but not least, personal development. Everything in this business is about mindset. We talked about number 1 being your why. Every single thing is about developing you, because people are signing up to be in your challenge group. They're signing up to be a coach on your team. I think for too long, Um, I didn't take enough ownership in the fact that I was a leader. I've always been a leader, I would say, but I kind of feel like because when you sign up under somebody else as a coach, you kind of lean on them. And it took me some time to realize that I could, break off and do my own things, but that came from personal development. And I love this quote, again, by Coit Cooper. He refers to personal development, journaling, reading, as your spiritual immunity. And I say that because you're going to get all sorts of things thrown at you in this business. Let's just be honest, you guys. Health and fitness is not an easy business to be in at times because it's something that people are very sensitive about. So I remember when I got into this business, I'm like, I don't want to send an invite because what if this person thinks that I'm judging them, right? Like, what if, are they thinking that I'm telling them that they need to lose weight? So like for me, I needed to develop the fact, well, wait a minute, this worked for me. Why wouldn't I just share it? I'm not selling it. I'm just sharing it. But what changed for me was personal development. I get up early every day. I am a 4 a.m.er. And again, please bear with me. I teach every day. I have to be there. Like I have to leave my house by like 6:30. 4 a.m. may not work for you. And trust me, when I retire from teaching, it won't be 4 a.m. It might be 5 a.m. It won't be 4 a.m. for me. Okay. But that's what I'm doing because I have my why and my vision. It's a means to an end for me. But you could work during a lunch break. You could get up 30 minutes earlier than normal, read a little bit of a personal development book, journal. I'm not going to throw too much more at you. And then maybe do some invites and call it a morning. But I neglected personal development. Those people who know me well, I'm kind of a handful and I'm kind of intense. And I'm like, I have enough personal development. I've got plenty of personality. Don't you tell me, like I teach high schoolers. And Erica Buzzard again was like, no, I mean like, what do you do to like read? Because I'm like, I read history every day. I'm a history teacher. She was like, yeah, reading about Genghis Khan, like conquering the world, is not like maybe the best for you. How about some like John Maxwell or like, you're a badass. And I'm like, again, I don't need it. And so like, I'm not kidding. Like anytime I'd have a bad day, she would be like personal development and she would just like throw books at me. Now I'm an avid reader and journaler and my journals, we were just talking, my team earlier, journaling doesn't even mean that you have to know what you're journaling about. Journaling is just starting to like put your thoughts down on paper, maybe about what you want in this business or life. But whatever it is, everything in this business is a balance. But the balance, I feel like, starts with you. I feel like I'm turning into Buddha. I'm not sure if this is exactly what Aaron wanted me to like come at you with, but that's how I've grown my business, is working on myself, being consistent. And again, no one was paying attention to me 3.5 years ago because I didn't have any credibility. So if you stay in this long enough and you show people you're not going anywhere, I would much rather sign up with a person. Like I've lost in my journey, gosh, now since Q4, I mean, I've lost 50 pounds at least since I started my journey 3.5 years ago. I think in total, since I had Mara, my second one, like after I had her, I've easily lost total body inches, 50 to 60 body inches total since I started. But then I didn't feel like I had credibility, but you do have credibility now if you choose to share it with people. I would much rather go with someone who is a work in progress than someone who's a fitness trainer 14 hours in a gym that doesn't live the same lifestyle as me. I'd rather be with someone who's like me and understands the process. So that's all I have for you tonight. I don't know if there's any questions I can answer before I hop off. And I'm going to let Megan go, but is there anything that I can answer for anybody that's pressing? Okay. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for letting me. I love you too, Beth. I love being on this call with you guys, and I wish you a wonderful evening. I'm going to go finish packing for Disney. And Megan, I'm going to catch your half of the recording because Cold Market is what I'm working on now too. So I'm going to pick up your call later. Oh, Lindsay, I connected with Coit because I joined a book club with him, with like everybody like in Beachbody a year and a half ago. Like they offered his book. His wife is a Beachbody coach under Jamie Thompson, who's a superstar coach from Indiana. And he published his first book, and it was they asked if we wanted to do this book club and journaling session, and I did. I was going through a divorce at the time. It was rough. I was lost. I was the last person to sign up for his book club. But I'm like, oh, great. Everyone else is doing it. There it is, personal development again. Okay, like I'll join. And I ended up having the best experience. And then he reached out to me and asked me to join a mastermind cohort. And we've been great friends ever since. I mean, he's been my personal mentor, like a life coach for me for the last probably year and a half. And he just published a new book, Make Your Mark, that comes with a course that a lot of people have purchased his book in here, and it's still available. And it comes with like a whole personal development free course to do, where he does videos and like walks you through your life. You literally, when you read his book in the morning, you walk away like, I'm going to go climb Mount Kilimanjaro. I don't know where Mount Kilimanjaro is, but I'm going to find it and I'm going to do it. Like I was just like in it to win it. So, and he's here to help anybody. I mean, he's doing like this huge master group for Beachbody coaches that have purchased his book. So if you guys need more info, let me know and I can hook you up with that info. Okay. So have a great night. Thanks, Debbie, to you too. And Meg, I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Natalie. Thank you.
Bye,
all right. I am hoping that my internet connection will handle this because I did a call before this and now hopping on this one. It was a little spotty, but I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to try to get us off of here in about 15 or 20 minutes because I know we all have lots of things going on. I am going to be talking to you tonight about something that has been very successful for me in the past couple of months, and that is building my network outside of my warm market. And your warm market is the people that you know, the people that you are already friends with on Facebook. And for me, that's how I built my team. I started my team with my warm market. And I know Aaron did the same thing. All of my coaches, I knew. All of my clients, I knew. They weren't new friends on Facebook. They were people that I went to school with, family members, things like that. That is what your warm market is. And for me, for the longest time, my warm market, that's all I had was my warm market. When I learned what a cold market is when I went to my first Beachbody event, which was the Cancun trip. And I was seeing these coaches that were meeting their coaches for the first time ever. They had never met their diamond coaches. They had never met these people that they work with every day. And for me, that was such an eye-opening experience because I guess I just didn't really realize that that's something that coaches were doing, that they were working with these people that they had never met before. And to me, it was completely bogus and insane, but I knew I had to figure it out, and I had to figure out how they were doing it. So it was time for me to step outside of my comfort zone, and it took me a while to do that, and it took me a while to learn my way around the cold market, but I did. I stepped outside of my zone, and I feel like the reason I did that was because the biggest hesitation that I hear from people that are thinking about signing up as a coach is there are already a million Beachbody coaches, or everyone already knows about Shakeology, or everyone's already doing the 21-day fix, or everybody already has a coach. Who am I going to get to follow me? There are people that are passionate about health and fitness that want to help others, but they just feel like the community is already so saturated that there's no one for them to talk to. And that is bull. That is absolute bull. And I have realized that with stepping into my cold market, because right now I am talking to people every single day that have never heard of Shakeology. They do not know what Beachbody is. They have never heard of Shanti before. So there are people out there that do not know what we are doing, and they do not know that there is this helpful community out there looking to help them. And I just think it proves that there's so many people that they need the coaching opportunity in their life. They need to know what Shakeology is. And our job is to find those people, to find out who those people are and to help them and to invite them. So this is what I do, and this is how I do it, and this is what's been successful for me. I join special interest groups on Facebook. These are closed groups. So when I talk about it later, you want to make sure that they're labeled as closed groups. And you also want to make sure they're groups that you can post in. Because again, when I explain this more in detail, you're going to see groups where there's just one person, and it's the person that's created the group that is the only person posting in the group. You want to make sure it's a group you can get in and you can post on. So some examples of some special interest groups that I am currently in, just to give you ideas of things to search for. I'm in a teaching special interest group. In a mom's, I'm in one for camping. I'm in like 5 camping special interest groups because that's just something we really love to do. I'm in a gymnastics moms special interest groups. If you follow me on Facebook, you know that my daughter got her hearing aid today, which has been a very exciting day for us. But I am also in several hearing impaired groups. I am in an Akita group, which is the type of dog that we have. I am in a pumpkin lovers group. I am in all of these groups, and what I am doing in these groups is I am building relationships. I am building relationships with people that I have never met before. Some of these groups are going to have like 50,000 people in the group, but you're going to notice the same 20, the same 100 people that are posting in the group frequently. These are the people that you're going to be building your relationships with. So this is how I do it. And before, I'm going to share my screen here in a minute. But what I do is I go into these groups and I try to post in one group a day. So one group a day, I go into a special interest group and I post. And I'll show you an example of some of the posts that I'm creating. I do not post about Beachbody in these groups. These people have no clue that I'm a Beachbody coach. That is not what I'm there to do. I'm not there to sell Shakeology, to try to get them to join my challenge group. I am there to build a relationship. And you will see people from other organizations like It Works and things like that. They go in there and they are trying to sell, and does not work for them. No one comments on their stuff. No one likes their stuff. You cannot go in there with the intention to sell. You have to go in with the intention to build a relationship. I also do not, sometimes I do, but for the most part, I don't comment on things people are posting in the group. Now, if someone posts, I'm really struggling and I need to create a routine and I need to get a workout program, you better believe I'm going to post on that or comment on that. But I don't have time to be scrolling through the posts in these groups. So I get in and I post and I do what I need to do. Now, I do comment on their comments that they make on my post. But you just have to be very careful with these groups that you don't let it be a time sucker. There is a mom's group that I'm in that is very easy to get involved in all the drama that they're posting about. But you can't get in there. You can't do that. That's not what you're in there to do. So I am going to screen share, and it takes me a minute to remember how to do this. Sorry, I have a bazillion messages down here. Let's see if we can get these off so you can see this. Okay, so I can see Debbie. Debbie, can you see my screen? Thumbs up. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so this is a group that I'm in, and it's parents of hearing impaired children. And it's a group that I posted in today. And you can see that I have posted, if you follow me on social media, it's very similar to the post that I posted today on social media about my daughter getting her hearing aid today. So I posted that, and this is a group that I've built lots of relationships with. I have some very good friends in this group now because they have helped me through this process of my daughter and her hearing impairment. But you will see all of the likes and all of the comments. The people that comment on this post, I am responding to their comment. And when I respond to it, I try to ask a question too. For example, this gal right here, I said, that's so neat. How old was your son when he got his AIDS? That way we can get a conversation going. Once we get that conversation going, then I friend request them. After I friend request them, I don't stop it there. I don't friend and end. I friend and then I send them a message on Facebook. Typically, the message has nothing to do with Beachbody still. It's just a thanks so much for asking or accepting my friend request. I'm really happy to get to know you more. Now, if it's a group, a lot of times I'll post recipes in groups, like camping groups. I'll post a recipe that you can take camping with you. And if they comment and we build a relationship there, then when I send the message, I will say, thank you. And just so you know, I'm a health and fitness coach. So if you want to follow me on Facebook, feel free to. That way you can get some ideas. Still not inviting them to it. Still not talking about Beachbody. Just opening it up to them. Because for a lot of people, they feel odd about friend requesting people they don't know. If you're not a Beachbody coach, you feel odd about that. And sometimes we feel odd about that. But that just kind of opens it up to them that it's okay for them to stalk you on Facebook and to see what you're doing and to look at your post. So after I do that and I friend request them, then the following month, typically, actually, let me backtrack a little bit. I want to show you another group post before I go on. So that was that group. It's nothing to do with Beachbody. It just says, I'm getting ready for the weekend. Anyone else camping and where? And I've posted that in the group, and you can see I got 23 comments. I responded to them, talked about the different places we camp, and built a relationship with these people that I don't know, and have added these people from my cold market into as my Facebook friends. Okay, so after I do that, then I send them the message. Then I have them as a friend on my Facebook page. Then typically the following month, I will send them an invite to my free group, because I do a free group every month. And that's why it is so important to have these free groups. It gives you something to add these people from your cold market to, so they can see what kind of a coach you are, so they can get a glimpse to what a challenge group looks like for a week, so they can get an idea of what exactly it is that you're doing. And then once you get them in there, you can share a little bit more about Shakeology and the workout programs and the services that you offer and what you can do for them. I want to backtrack again about the fact that you have now added them to your social media page. They now can see what you are posting on social media. That is why it is so important that you are posting your 3 to 5 times a day on social media, especially once you start getting your cold market people as friends on Facebook. You need to make sure that you're adding content. You need to make sure that you're adding value to their lives so that they want to continue to check your page and see what you're posting next. You want to post those recipes. You want to post motivational things, new foods that you found at a grocery store, so that they constantly are thinking in their head, well, I want to go see what Megan's doing and what she's posting about today, so that they're going back to your page and checking your page out. So the way that I keep track of these people that I have added on Facebook, I want to share with you, because I think it is a pretty neat thing. So I'm on my Facebook page now, and I am going to go to Friends. You click on Friends, and then I have a list here. This is my new teacher friends from a teacher group that I'm in. So anytime I add one of these people from a cold group, then I also add them to this list. This list, they have no clue that they're on. They do not have a clue that they are in this little group that I've created. It is just a way for me to keep track of them on social media. So now when I go to social media and I go to Facebook, I can see just my new friends' posts on Facebook that are in the teaching world, so that I can make sure that I'm connecting with them. So I don't get all of the political junk on my page and all the videos and all the time sucker activities. Right now, what I have on my page that I can see is my new teacher friends post. So I can go through in a non-stalkerish way and comment on their post and like their posts and build relationships with them on Facebook. And when we're filling out our 8 daily investments that hopefully everyone is filling out, those are the people that I'm writing down that I have connected with, the people that are in these groups. And the way that you do that, to kind of go back so that you know how to create that, you go to your friends, and then you go to create list. Once you create a list, you make the list name like new teacher friends, new mom friends, pumpkin friends, Akita friends, whatever your group might be. You type that list name in there, and then you can start adding members to that group. Again, they do not know that they are in this group. This is just a way for you to categorize them on social media whenever you're trying to build those relationships and connect with people. I'm going to go ahead and stop my screen share. If it'll let me so I can see everybody. Okay, so I started doing this, and I actually shared this very similar call with my team in April. Right now, and because it takes time to build this, it takes time to build your cold market and to build these relationships with these people. Right now, I'm looking at my October challenge group that I'm running, and 50% of the people in that group are cold market. They are people that I have never met before and have brought them out of these special interest groups. When I shared it with my team in April, I had one person in my group, and I was super excited about that one person that I didn't know that was in my group, that I was going to be able to change their lives. So from April to now, I now have 50% of my challenge group is from the cold market. And I think that's pretty incredible, because personally for me, I was running out of warm market. I didn't have anyone else that I knew to invite or didn't already know what I was doing. So it was very important for me to get into that cold market and to start recruiting those people. I also now have 5 cold market coaches. So 5 coaches, they are not working coaches yet. I'm working on it. But I have 5 coaches now that are our VIP coaches or our discount coaches, whatever you want to call them, that are from cold market groups that, I have people in California and Texas and New York, all over the place, women that I'm working with. And that's really exciting for me to be able to touch all of these lives and work with these people. So that is how I am reaching out to my cold market, and I hope that those tips help to give you some ideas. If you have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and open it up. If anyone has anything, get a drink of water. I'm losing my voice from teaching Country Heat and yelling over the speaker. Does anyone have any questions? Nope. We'll see what the chat says before we stop. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, Bree made a really good point about the It Works person being called out in her group. A lot of times these special interest groups, they have rules at the beginning of them that you are not there to sell your products. They don't want people posting about their products. And if you do, they are very quick to call you out on that and to say you will be removed from the group if you post about it. Now, there have been times, for example, in my, I'm in a group of moms, and I've posted about a crockpot free challenge that I'm going to be running if any busy moms want to join me. And that seems to be okay whenever you do that. But for the most part, I just stick to non-Beachbody stuff, because you'll also notice them call you out if you friend request someone and then invite them to a challenge group. So you want to make sure you're not doing that also. That once you friend request them and they have you on their page and their social media and they're watching what you're doing, they're going to come to you and they're going to start asking you questions. And if they don't, that's when you start inviting them to your free groups. Okay, do we have anything else? If not, I think we can in order to create a list. No, you can create a list on anything. Like you could create a list of high school friends, or you could create a list with anything. And you know what? I've heard other coaches say that they create lists of their coaches. That way they can see what their coaches are doing on social media and kind of keep track of that and make sure that they're seeing their posts and it's not getting bombarded by all the other posts that they have. And so they can make sure they're commenting and giving shout outs to their coaches for their awesome posts. Anything else? You guys can unmute. You don't have to chat. Okay, well, I think that is it. Thank you guys for hanging in here with me and Natalie tonight in Erin's absence. So I will chat with you later, and I'm going to go ahead and end this call, or let her end this call. Bye, guys.